How do the most innovative companies reach mobile consumers? Meet Attentive, a personalized text messaging solution trusted by over 2,000 brands, including CB2, Sephora, and Michaels. On average, Attentive customers see 25 times ROI and 18.5% of online revenue driven by SMS. Request a demo today at attentivemobile.com. Want your company to be featured in a future Total Retail Talks episode? Contact Jennifer DePasquale at jdpasquale@navco.com. That's JDIPASQUALE at NAPCO.com for more sponsorship information.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan of Total Retail, and today I am joined by Matthew Rubin, who is the Senior Vice President, Business Development and Growth at Michaels. We're going to be speaking to Matthew today about MichaelsPro program, which it recently launched for its small business customers. So thanks for joining me today, Matthew.
Oh, my pleasure, Joe. Thanks for having me.
So let's get started and just have you tell our audience a little bit about the new MichaelsPro program and a little bit about why the company decided to launch it.
Sure. Well, with MichaelsPro, Joe, what we're trying to do is we're trying to offer our great customers that use making to make a living, right? Whether we call them makerpreneurs. And that may be whether they are making products and selling them on Etsy or at craft fairs, or they're teaching craft events, or they're having camp programs or other types of programs where the supplies that we sell are being used. So they need to purchase in bulk and in large quantities. And throughout our history at Michaels, we've been really proud of the way we've been able to support this maker with great products. The challenge has been when it comes to buying in quantity, having the amount of inventory those types of customers require and having them at competitive prices that are consistent so that they can consider their cost of goods sold for the services that they offer. So that's why we embarked on the MichaelsPro program.
So as you noted, you've been serving this maker community for a long time at Michaels. But obviously in kind of the business environment in which retailers are operating now, considering the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm interested in a little bit about the timing of this MichaelsPro program. You know, has the decision to launch this come about in the last 6 months or so as you've heard from more small business customers, or, you know, and how have you seen Michaels' business evolve, particularly with respect to your small business owners since COVID-19?
Yeah, it's a great question, Joe. This project was well underway prior to COVID-19 and the impact, really the tragic impact it's had, in our country and around the world. We had done a lot of the groundwork prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. What we have seen, though, since the COVID-19 outbreak is people are using making to either supplement or become their primary income. And that's happening at a seemingly faster rate than it did previously. So that has been the more recent trend. And so the timing has worked out that we're able to launch this and service that customer, but we were well on our way prior to COVID.
So having the program be in the works prior to the late first quarter of this year, when COVID really began to impact our country, do you want to talk a little bit about how the shopping needs of your small business owners might be different than that of other Michaels customers? Has that changed in recent months, and how is kind of the MichaelsPro program addressing those needs?
Yeah, so certainly the difference is really when it comes down to quantity. It's almost impossible that we'd carry enough products in every one of our stores on every one of our items that would satisfy a large purchase that just happened to take place in a given store on a given day, right? It's almost impossible to do that. So what we wanted to do is make sure from an e-commerce standpoint, we were able to locate the inventory no matter where it was in our network, at that bulk level and be able to supply it to the customer, because that need of having the right amount of inventory at the right time is essential for people that use those supplies to earn a living, right? So we had to make sure that we could deliver that. So that was one piece of it. The other piece of it, frankly, was price. And we wanted to be competitive with some of the folks that are out there. You know, you name the retailer or the e-commerce company, or even the specialty e-commerce company. We want to make sure our each pricing is competitive in that market. We have a great coupon program that we have for folks when they come into the store to place a retail purchase or shop online, but we wanted to make sure that pricing was more consistent for people that buy in large quantity, and the coupons don't always match up to that. So we think this is a better way of conveying that value to that consumer.
In terms of identifying your small business customer, are they self-identifying on the Michaels site, maybe a special login, or are you making assumptions based on volume, you know, as you said, buying in bulk? Tell us a little about, you know, how you've been able to identify small business customers.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of craft, right? Because we are looking at people that have purchased in large quantities over time and making sure they know Michaels Pro is available. We are using all of our media channels to convey to customers, our broad base of customers, that Michaels Pro is available, right? Because we do understand people buy for themselves as individuals at our stores as well as buy for their making needs, right? So we didn't want to sort of deselect a bunch of customers for this program. We wanted to make it open to everyone. So presently, if you go to michaels.com and click on the Michaels Pro tab, or go to michaels.com/Michaels Pro, what you'll see is that assortment available to anyone. There is no special login required. You don't have to provide any identification beyond choosing the product you want and checking out. As a matter of fact, we offer a combined cart. So you can buy, you know, a Christmas tree in your regular Michaels.com assortment and a whole bunch of party supplies, for example, in your Michaels Pro assortment. Buy both of those in the same exact cart and check out and have them delivered to your home. So we did try to combine those efforts, but from a marketing standpoint, we're talking to our broad base of customers and hoping to attract customers that, for whatever reason, didn't consider us for their large purchases to now come and shop at Michaels.
Yeah, Matthew, I want to get into a little bit about the promotion and marketing of the program in a second, but let's kind of, and you just did a little bit, let's get into what the shopping experience is like with the, you know, for those coming online to michaels.com, for these small business owners, these makers that want to take advantage of the Michaels Pro program. They want to get the bulk ordering done and get it at a valuable price. Tell us a little bit about that experience. And then kind of a second part to that is, you know, your physical stores. Obviously, Michaels has a large physical footprint across the country. Is there an in-store component to that to the program? And if so, kind of what does that look like as well?
Sure, happy to walk through that. So when customers go to michaels.com/Michaels Pro, what they'll see is our dedicated landing page for Michaels Pro. And that includes a couple of things. One is obviously a link to shop, and we show that the categories that we have, and then when you click on those categories, you get down to the Michaels Pro assortment. In addition, we highlight our dedicated phone number, which is 1-833-MIC-PRO. And that's to be used for customers that have questions and say, hey, I've never bought from Michaels Pro before. You know, I want to buy this item. Is it available in Pro, and so on. And to be able to have someone pick up the phone on the other end and walk the customer through that. So that's on there as well. In addition, if you're tax exempt, so whether you're a reseller or you're a charitable organization that is tax exempt and have tax exempt documentation, you can click right on that link of shopping tax exempt and upload your appropriate information so that you'd be able to shop tax exempt on our website. And the last piece is for project inspiration. So we have pro makers that have done projects. And we also have classes on makerpreneurship where pro makers share with our customers that are interested the ways that they use Michael's products to make for a living. So that's all available on our landing page, Joe. We'll be adding incremental things to that over time, additional services and so on that we can convey to customers. So that's the experience they'll see when they go to the website. As far as selecting by category, they can choose anything from apparel, crafts, to yarn and decor. But also, if they're in another part of the website and they want to see if an item is available in Pro, over on the left-hand navigation, you can click Michael's Pro and it'll restrict your shopping results or your search results down to Michael's Pro items so that you'll only get that Pro assortment if that's what you wish. So that's sort of the online experience, and that does carry through, by the way, into our mobile app, which is really a world-class application and can be used both in conjunction with your in-store shopping experience as well as when you're on the go. In store, we have a couple of things. One, our team members are always there to help, right? They have a direct hotline that they can call with any Pro questions. If a customer walks in and says, hey, I really like this base, for example, do you have this in Pro? That question can be answered quite quickly. In addition, we have tablets in each one of our stores where our team members can help a customer with the first Pro order. And lastly, as I mentioned earlier, because of our application having the Mike Pro items, a team member can assist a customer in placing themselves while standing right in the store.
So obviously, this is a valuable resource, valuable program that Michaels is launching, and it's to the benefit of your maker community. So that leads to the question of, okay, how are you going about promoting this, making people aware that this service exists? Do you want to tell us a little bit, Matthew, about kind of what Michaels is doing to promote the launch of Michaels Pro, and how you're going to create awareness of it in the small business and maker communities?
Yeah, I'm happy to, Joe. So I think it's a couple of things. One, as I had mentioned previously, we want to talk to all of our existing customers. We have a list of customers that shop us routinely and a list of customers that shop us occasionally, right? And we're going to talk to both those groups and have already done some things to talk to those groups already and make them aware of the Michaels Pro program. We are doing additional marketing techniques related to certain categories, right? So for example, if you buy a bunch of jewelry from us year after year after year, we may send you an ad from Michaels Pro, or information about Michaels Pro, I should say, that has a jewelry bent to it, right? So that it's more specific to what you do as a maker, right? Because not all makers are created equal. If you, for example, like jewelry and are a jewelry maker, sending you a deal on canvas doesn't necessarily do you any good, right? So we're trying to be specific to the categories that may interest you the most. I mentioned the learning classes. We have classes that are available on our website. One of our most attended classes was this makerpreneurship class, where we had a maker talking through their process, how they acquire supplies, how they make an item, how they post it online to sell it. It was one of our most highly attended classes. And that technique for us is great, because not only do people learn about Michaels Pro, but they also get a little tutorial about how to get launched and how to start their business. So you can expect more from us in that particular area. And the last piece is doing some traditional things for Michaels, Joe, because we have done a great job over the years talking to our consumer customers, but B2B is relatively new for the Michaels brand. So we're doing trade shows, we're participating in maker fairs, and we're working with trade associations and their publication lists, for example, to start marketing there. We're talking to charitable organizations. We're working with schools and school districts that teachers love Michaels. They can't wait to tell us how much they enjoy shopping with Michaels. But the school district, for example, hasn't been able to purchase Michaels previously because we didn't have the B2B capability, but now we do, right? So there's all these different groups of customers in addition to our core group that we think would be a great target for the Michaels Pro team.
Yeah, and you can better serve some of these markets that, to your point, the school districts and some of these other larger communities that you might not have been able to serve in a B2B capacity. Now you're able to, which leads me kind of to my final question, Matthew. in terms of, with any initiative that a company such as Michaels rolls out like this, there's, at the start of the project, there's goals, I'm sure, that are identified. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what Michaels is trying to accomplish with its Pro program, and tell us a little bit about maybe some of the business benefits that you hope it yields.
Sure, Joe. And I think we started to launch this a little bit with our addition of the UPS access point into our stores last year, which was our first sort of small business maker tool, because we learned that all these folks that made for a living needed a good place to ship out from. And UPS was our partner in launching that, and that has proved to be a great program for us. One of the things that we look to do, Joe, is we want to serve the customer first. The results, and I know it's a little cliche, but the results really will take care of themselves. Our leadership team, me included, is really focused on taking care of the needs of our customers, and those needs are constantly changing, and they're increasingly diverse. This move into P2B, we're going to learn some things along the way, right? It's not a path that is well worn for us. So we're getting great consumer insights. We have an excellent consumer insights team who's fielding questions. That 833 MichaelsPro number, we're getting all sorts of questions and recommendations, and can you carry this item, and so on. So we're taking all that into account. We're really wanting the performance to speak for itself once customers start embracing the MichaelsPro program, and that's both in online.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Matthew Rubin, the Senior Vice President, Business Development and Growth at Michaels, for joining us today on Total Retail Talks and telling us all about Michaels' latest initiative, its Pro program. Thank you for joining me, Matthew.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.
To learn more about how brands are using text message marketing to drive incremental revenue, visit AttentiveMobile.com.